Hi there. So in this video, we're going to take a look at FRQ Prep number 2 from Unit 3 Supply. It gives us a perfectly competitive firm that's selling its product at a price of 30, fill in the chart. Now, right off the bat, we should remember that MR equals Mr. Darb, right? MR equals demand equals average revenue equals the price. So this is telling us that the marginal revenue is also equal to 30. So I'm going to go ahead and start by just filling in that all the way down, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30. Now, total revenue we know is calculated as TR equals price times the quantity. So they're selling 0 in this one, so there's no total revenue, 0. 1 times 30 is 30. 2 times 30 is 60, 90, 120, 150. 6 times 30 is 180. 7 times 30 is 210, and 240. Then it says fixed cost. Now, this one's kind of tricky. You got to know something here to figure this one out. Fixed cost, they don't give you. They give you variable cost is 0 at 0 levels of output. That makes sense. Total cost is 10. And so we have to remember that total cost is equal to variable cost plus fixed cost. So, well, if the variable cost is 0, then that means the fixed cost has to be 10. And if it's fixed, it's going to be fixed the entire way down. 10, 10, 10, 10. And we know that total cost is just the sum of those two, so we're going to add them as we go down. 60, 70, 80, 95, 115. Sorry, I had a total brain fart. Can't add. 140 and 180. Okay, now the marginal cost is the change in total cost divided by the change in total product, or the change in output. And thankfully, these output numbers are way easier than the one we did in class with the lecture in class. So these are just going to be 1 every single time, right? Change in output is 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, so forth. So here we're just really going to look for what's the change in total cost over 1. And so the change in total cost over 1 is 30, 20. I'm doing these in my head. Hopefully they don't get too hard. 10, 10. Oh, now it's going back up again. 15, 20, 25, and 40. So it does behave like the Nike swoosh, right? It starts low, goes back up again. Or it starts high, down, and then back up again, I should say. Okay, now part A says, what's the AVC when producing 5 units of outputs? We have to know the variable cost. AVC at 5 is the total variable cost. So what is that? At 5 units is 85. Over, and then what's the number? Well, 5. 85 over 5. So 5 goes into 8 one time, 3 left over, 35. 5 goes into 35 7 times. So that would be $17. B, to maximize profits or minimize the losses, how much should they produce? Explain. So we know that MR equals MC. That's our rule. So we look for where does the marginal revenue and the marginal cost. Now remember, forget about this first one. We're going to keep going until we hit the last unit before where marginal cost exceeds marginal revenue. So they should produce the 7th unit. 7th unit, and we'd say because it's the last unit before marginal cost being greater than marginal revenue. Last unit before that. And in fact, you can test that out if you really want to, right? And you can actually see why it wouldn't make any sense to stop at the first unit, because the total revenue is only 30 there, the total cost is 40, so they'd be losing $10. But if they do the 7th unit, their total revenue is 210, their total cost is 140, so they have a $70 profit. That's the most they can make. Okay, C, using your answer from B, what's the profit or loss per unit? This is an important point there, per unit at the profit maximizing output. Well, that means it's just what's the profit divided by the total product, right? What's that profit over total product? So when we say profit, we're saying that's 210 minus, because that's the total revenue, minus the total cost, minus 140. And how many product are we making? We're making 7. So this should be 70 over 7, which is $10 per unit profit. All right, hopefully that helped you. See you next time.